There it goes. Hey guys, it's Ted Bogert. Happy Friday. Welcome back to the TED Show. We are really excited to kick off our Friday show with our musical guest. Elin Wolf is with us, and I am so excited to have here. I'm very excited for this title, which I have to read to you. Live fast, die young, be wild, and have fun. I loved it the minute I saw it. So we're excited to have Elin on. She's going to perform toward the end of the show. Welcome, Elin. How are you today?
Thank you so much, Ted, for having me. I'm great. How are you?
I am excellent. Absolutely excellent. Very happy it's Friday. Love musical guests on this show because there's so much great talent I feel like that we can expose our audience to. So we're excited to hear your journey, which is where we'll start. Tell us a little bit. The audience loves to know the origin story. You know, were you always musically inclined? Did you perform in front of your parents? Like, what was that? So tell us a little bit about your origin story.
Yeah. So first of all, I'm from Sweden originally. So I moved to LA 2.5 years ago to pursue my dream in music, basically. And I've been performing my whole life. My dad is a Hammond organ player. He used to play in progressive rock bands in the 70s. And my second cousin is actually Max Martin, who wrote Hit Me Baby One More Time.
Wow, how cool is that?
Yeah, so I have some musical background. Yeah.
Yeah, you do. Did you know you wanted to be a performer full time? Like at what point you go, you know what, this isn't just something I love, this is something I want to do with my life?
Yeah, I mean, like, I always knew I wanted to do music, but I actually played classical violin growing up. So, yeah, I did that. And then I just moved to Paris, started to write music, and here I am.
Where does that come from? I want to know because the way you're describing it, I know it sounds like it was just this most easy process. But when you're going through it, you're having to learn songwriting. Like, how did you learn that? Did you start very early and you changed your poems into music? How did you come along and develop as an artist from like a kid performing to an adult performing?
So I guess like I started to write when I was very little. We have some we have some tapes back at my parents' house with my first creations, as I call them. But then I guess it came really naturally to me. Like I started to play a lot of different genres. I played jazz, soul, rock, pop. I performed a lot. I started to write with a lot of different people. And then I kind of just like learned the trade as I was going. I also do have a education in music, but
wow. So you went all full force. You got it all.
Pretty much.
So describe. So I'm also a lover of all genres. I mean, there's some I like more than others, but I can listen to and appreciate the music. How did you fine tune and hone it so that it became your genre? Like, would you identify mostly as jazz, rock, pop? How did you get to that point where you had your musical genre kind of defined for you?
It was really when I started to write more, like maybe 5 years ago. So I kind of like settled in rock and folk rock, singer-songwriter. Yeah.
And where do you get the inspiration? I always like to ask everybody this because I'm always amazed at the stories because people will tell me, well, none of this happened to me, but I heard about it and so I decided to write a song on it. And then others will say, well, my life has been basically a country song and everything's gone wrong. And so where do you get your inspiration?
Yeah, I definitely get my inspiration from my life. I live a pretty eventful life, so my songs are very therapeutical, you can say, and I like to write about things that I think that other women, you know, in my situation goes through too. So yeah,
that's fascinating because that would I think it's interesting when you're emoting. I know artists know this, but when you make that connection, somebody connects to a song that's also personal to you, What's
Yeah.
that like? I mean, that's got to be so cool to have people tell you they love your music, have people say, "Oh my God, I totally related to that song, Ellen." What's that like for you?
Yeah. No, that was actually recently a friend of mine was I was sometimes I write a little bit more personal on my social media pages and around the songs, like a little bit more background stories and get a little personal. And I had a friend writing like, "You're so inspirational for other artists and women out here," and that was basically the best compliment I ever got. Yeah.
Then you know you're connecting with your audience. You're actually, because you have a message, right? All creatives, you've got something you've got to birth, you've got to get it out, you've got to get your song out, the emotions, and your way to do that is songwriting, performing.
Yeah.
But it's another thing to go, well, you could have a great message, but nobody connects to it. And how cool for you to be, for someone to be able to connect to your music. Do you get emotional when you perform a song that might be very close to the heart or personal?
Yeah, I try to actually. I think for myself when I watch a show, watch an artist, I like them to be really connected to what they're saying, and I like them to give their all, really. So that's what I'm trying to do, not to get too far from the original message or feeling that I had when I wrote it. Yeah.
And then how about 2021? Tell us, 2020 was crazy for all creatives.
Yeah.
You couldn't go out and perform. You couldn't collaborate in person. I mean, there's everything changed and shut down. What's 2021 been like for you? Are you seeing live performances coming back? Are you collaborating more in person, doing more in person stuff? What's your musical business look like right now?
Yeah, so it's like slowly coming together. I mean, we have a couple of shows. I have a couple of shows with my own stuff, but also with my duo, my band, Lemmy's Child, here in LA. Some of the venues, like the Mint, we're playing there.
Awesome.
Yes, the 18th of August, which is going to be a really cool show. And then I just been recording more. I have one single came out last week.
Congratulations.
Thank you. My Father's Daughter, it's called, and it's on all platforms during at Elin Wolf. And then I have another song coming out called Wild Woman that I'm actually going to perform now as well. Yeah.
What was before we get into the song, which we'll do in just a second, guys, got a lot of people messaging me going, "She's going to sing, she's going to sing." Yes, but I like to get to know the artist. You guys know that. What about the collaborative part? Do you write your songs on your own? And this particular song, did you write all by yourself? Was it strictly you, or do you have other partners that you kind of bounce things off?
Yeah, so I have two main projects. So one is Elin Wolf, and then I have Lemmy's Child, which is songwriting duo with my partner Morgan McLean. And so we write together, and then we work with amazing producers, Dennis D'Angelo, as well. So, but mostly I write my own songs mostly. Yeah.
It's funny because I think I'm always amazed as a creative. I feel like a lot of creatives, especially songwriters, really did just write their own stuff. Because if you bring another creative in, there's an interesting dynamic. But I've also been told by creatives that they actually do better collaborating. They get, they have something, and then so it's interesting, everybody's style. All right, enough about that. Tell me about the song we're gonna sing. What was the inspiration?
So this is Wild Woman, and it's really about like grabbing. I'm Elin Wolf. I have a wolf tattooed here as well. It's about like grabbing that like wild side in you, and really living your best life.
Love it. All right. So we are going to take me off, and we're going to let Elin Wolf perform. Here you go.
Wild woman, break free. Howl in the night, come and search for me. Go stand under the red flower, walk the extra mile. Climb up to a cave, through the windows of a dream. Find your psychic self, it will set you free. Come and find me, I'll set you free. Wild woman, break free. Earth and fire will forever be. Let go of the past, be brave. Truth don't come easily, the right path sets you free. Inside of you lies the seeds of life, healing powers through the night.
Okay, I have so many questions. First, I loved it. Your voice reminds me of like a Broadway voice. It's very deep, very.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of depth to it. I don't know how else to describe that because I'm not a talent like you, but I loved that. I really did. I closed my eyes. I'm like, she could be on Broadway. That's the resonating kind of voice that you have.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I have to ask about the whistling.
Yes.
That one that caught me off guard. And I'll tell you the secret now. Most of the artists who come on, if you don't know, I take myself off in case you're bad because my face would not be able to hide that. And it doesn't. So it's not just because I want you to be front and center. It's I don't want to react. You would have seen me go, wow, like that when you started whistling. So tell us why that's an important part of the song. Why?
Yes, so I really wanted to have this like feeling of sitting by a river out in the forest, and I wanted to have a little bit of this like folky feeling to it, and whistling really gives it that. I feel like, yes.
It was the biggest surprise I've had today. I was all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, what is that? But I love that because it makes it different. I'm never going to forget that song.
Yeah.
Because of the whistling at the beginning and the end. I loved it. It was so good.
Thank you.
All right, Ellen, you've been a joy, but I really want people to be able to find your music, download it, buy it, follow you. What's the best way for them to do that?
So you can find me on Instagram, elin.wolf, elin.wolf, or on Spotify, iTunes, wherever. Elin Wolf, and you got it also running here under that.
That's right. We have elinwolf.com. You can go to, y'all reach out. The creatives have had an interesting year since COVID, and so 2021 is coming back, but in certain parts of the country, it's coming back slower, like California. Yeah. Florida's been open since pretty much day one, I feel like.
I gotta move.
So you guys have had your challenges. So that's why I love to have creatives on, because I really want people to get behind you and get exposed to new music. And I love that. That was so good, Ellen. All right. Thanks for being on the show. You guys go to elinwolf.com or ellen.wolf on Instagram, or you can find her on everything, Spotify, iTunes, you name it. Just search for Elin Wolf. Thanks, Ellen, for being on the show. That was awesome.
Yeah.
So awesome. I loved it. Yes. All right, guys, we'll be back a little later. Go out and support Elin Wolf, elinwolf.com. We'll see you guys soon.